everyone, I'm Keely and this is Voice of a Creative, and today I'm here to show you the things I made for other people in December. I decided to do a separate video from my December makes because otherwise that video would have ended up being extremely long, and I wanted to show you the things that I managed to make for other people. Now, I gained quite a bit of time in December because I thought I was having surgery on the 14th of December, but it ended up getting cancelled, so I actually gained those 2 weeks to actually do some sewing in preparation for Christmas. So it meant that I got a little bit more sewing done than I thought I would, and it meant that I could make quite a few gifts for other people. I mostly only have photos of the items that I made, but I'm going to talk you through the things that I made and show you photos and things where I can. Some of these items were for Christmas gifts, but some were just makes that I made in December, just for different people as well. So I'm going to start off with the makes for my husband. So first up is this jumper that I made for him. So I used this sweatshirting that I got from Crafty So-and-So, and then I used grey ribbing for the neckband, which is from Like So Amazing. Now this is actually not a sewing pattern that other people can get. I actually traced one of his old t-shirts because it fitted him well apart from the length, and then I made that into a jumper pattern for him. Now in terms of adjustments for the next one, I'm going to add ribbing to the cuffs. So I might even adjust this one and add ribbing to the cuffs. So I just folded these over and overlocked the edge and then stitched along, and the same for the bottom as well. But I think for the next one I'm going to add cuffs to it, so I'll just cut it a little bit and add cuffs. And then the neckband bit for this one is a little bit too wide because sometimes it shows his t-shirt. It will make the neckline a little bit narrower, but overall I'm really pleased with it. He says it's really cozy to wear. You can see the height that I've had to add. So from the t-shirt pattern I added I think 3 or 4 inches onto the length to make it the correct length for him. But pleased with the outcome of this. I was glad to use this fabric. He does wear it a lot and I'm looking forward to making some more jumpers. I am planning to make the Jackson pullover for him, the new Helen's Closet pattern. I'll pop in a picture because it's a unisex pattern or a gender neutral pattern, so I can make it for him as well as myself. So I'm going to give that one a try as well so that he has a few more jumpers in his wardrobe. Next up we've got this one, and this is also the same traced t-shirt pattern but an actual t-shirt version this time, and I made it in this cotton interlock in this kind of pinky red colour, which I got from my local fabric shop, which is the Nylon Shop. So I had a remnant piece left from making some t-shirts for my sister, and I didn't quite have enough because of the length that I needed. So what I decided to do is add this colour block detail in the shoulder. So I just folded over the top of the pattern piece and then added seam allowance and then cut the extra little piece out, so it's got a colour block sleeve detail, which I really like the look of actually, and then that meant that I had enough length. The other thing I did is I didn't actually hem this, so this is just a cut hem. So you're absolutely fine not to hem cotton jersey, viscose jersey, because it doesn't fray. However, sometimes you might want that look for a neater edge, but my husband quite likes the look of just the raw hem, so I've done that on the sleeves as well. Now what you do need to do is if you're overlocking or stitching, just make sure you knot off the end. So with the overlock, what I do is take the tail of the overlocking and fold it back upwards, and then I just stitch some stitches on the sewing machine, which are, so you can see there, I just stitched some stitches on the end on the sewing machine, and that's just to make sure that the seams don't then come apart. So pleased with this. Again, he really liked the colour block detail and I think it came together really nicely, and I will be making some more t-shirts like this because especially if I can add little blocks in to get the length to use up some of my fabrics, it will be a great thing to do. I also made my husband 3 pairs of Hudson pants. So there is a male version of the Hudson pants pattern as well. I don't know how much I can tell the difference, but I know I made him a pair of shorts from the female Hudson pants pattern, and they didn't come out anywhere near as well as the male pattern. So there is obviously something different about it. So I made him 3 pairs of those in French terry from Croftmill, and I used ribbing from the Maker's Merchant. I managed to make 3 pairs out of 3 meters, and then I used the ribbing, which was a meter of ribbing, and it all worked out perfectly. He wears those all the time, hence why I haven't got a pair to show you. So those were the things that I made for my husband. So next up, the makes for my mum. So I ended up making her 6 t-shirts, and I used the Union Street tee pattern from Hey June Handmade. For my mum, I made the extra large version, and then I graded out at the hips. So this pattern, size-wise, it starts at XXS, and then the largest size is 3XL. The smallest size is 29 high bust measurement and 32 hip, and the largest size is a 47 high bust measurement and a 48 hip. So she loves the fit of the size that I made. I made all of them in viscose jersey, and I made all of them with 3/4 length sleeves and a round scooped neckline. And my mum is really glad to have those extra t-shirts in her wardrobe. So what I will do is pop in pictures of these. So I made one in a viscose jersey which was from Minerva Crafts, which has a red floral design to it. I'd made her a t-shirt in this previously, but I had enough left over because I had bought 2 meters, so I was able to make the t-shirt for the first test version for this. Then I made 5 more. One in a red floral viscose jersey from Lamazi Fabrics, and then another one in a rust floral from Lamazi Fabrics as well, again viscose jersey. But I was on the lookout for other colours. I know my mum really likes red and pink, and so I wanted to choose some fabrics that would work better for her, because she ends up with having things that are blue and green, because that's the fabric I kind of have left over from my projects. And then she's ended up with a wardrobe like that, but she actually really loves pink and red, so I'm trying to kind of lean into those cranberries and colours a little bit as well, so that she can have tops in those colours. I also made a t-shirt with this navy with white details, which was also from Lamazi, the fabric, and then another one which is in a blue and peach floral viscose jersey, which was from Rainbow Fabrics, and that was actually gifted to me. They gave me a £30 voucher to spend on some fabrics, which I have showed in a fabric haul before, but I decided to make my mum a top out of the viscose jersey that I got. And then I had some viscose jersey in my stash that I got from eBay from years and years ago, but I turned it into a short sleeved version for her. So she is really pleased with all of those, and I am glad to I just sewed them up kind of one after the other. I put the blues together, I put the reds together, and I just changed the thread on my overlocker and sewed them all up at the same time. And it's really nice to do batch sewing like that, and it just means she's got some long sleeved tops to see her through kind of this winter colder time. Next up, I made some things for my sister. So I made her 2 pairs of trousers. Now I had a pair of trousers from Next which I traced the pattern of, and they were some cigarette trousers. So they're kind of a slim fit legging, but they've got a fake fly and pockets. So I've actually got them to show you because I'm having to sew the elastic down. So I bought some elastic from Amazon, but it started folding inside, so I need to stitch down the sides to keep it flat. So I actually do have the trousers. So you can see that they've got a false fly. So it's just a flap, so the pattern piece kind of bulges a bit there, and you fold it in on itself to give this fly. And then they've got pockets. Now I've actually made these pockets deeper because my sister keeps her phone and things in her pockets. And then they've got a waistband, and then they're a slim fit. And these are, I always make these in Ponte. So this Ponte was absolutely beautiful to sew with. This is from Like So Amazing, and it's this grey colour. I don't think she has any of this in stock anymore, but she does have some other ones. But this was really beautiful quality. So it's a viscose and polyester mix, but really nice and weighty, perfect for trousers. And I just finished off the hems at the ankles by stitching around with the overlocker and then folding over and stitching on top. And then this is finished with the waistband. And they're all overlocked throughout. And I also made her a second pair in this navy blue Ponte, which I got from the Nylon Shop. And again, exactly the same. You've got the false fly and the pockets, and I think they turned out really nicely, and I know she gets a lot of wear out of these trousers. And the fit is kind of quite slim fit, so almost like skinny jeans type thing, and she just wears them with different tops, and they're just really comfortable for her to wear. So I made 2 pairs of those, and I have bought some more material to make her a few more pairs, and I want to make some for myself as well, so that I've got some different choices of trousers that I can wear while I'm at home. So the next thing I made for my sister was actually a peg bag. So I just used the design that I made for my waist wrap bag that I made in September, but I will pop in a picture. So I used some different bits of cotton from my stash, and I did stripes of different colours and then added in the zip and sewed it all together with a strap. Now my sister wanted this to be one that could go over her shoulder or across her body, so that when she goes outside she can wear that and then carry the washing to peg everything up on the line. So she was really pleased with this. It's a cute design, and actually it's really perfect for what she wants to use it for. I am planning to make one of these for myself as well, because at the moment we just have a cotton bag for our peg bag, so it'd be nice to have one that can go onto your shoulder and zip up so the pegs don't all keep falling out. That is on my sewing plans list. The next thing I made, which was for my sister's husband, but for her as well, is the closet case Poof. Now I have seen this pattern a couple of times, and there are so many different versions on the hashtag, but I used a variety of fabrics again from my stash, so used up from other projects, and I also bought a grey cotton from my sewing box, which I used for larger parts of it. For like the bottom. And the pattern, you cut all the pieces, you can get it free online, you just have to sign up to have access to the patterns. So you've got all of the segments on top, and then the bottom has a zip, and then you basically stuff loads of fabric scraps in it. So I didn't quite manage to fill it up fully when I gave it to them at Christmas, but it gives me a chance to put some more fabric scraps in there at a later date. And what you actually do is put a drawstring bag inside the Poof, so you can take that out so you can wash the Poof, just in case you spill anything on it. But I was really pleased with that one, and I know that they will get a lot of use out of it. I just need to add a bit more stuffing to it. Last but not least is the fairy dolls that I made. So these were from 10 by 2 or 10 times 2 studio, and they make doll patterns, and I decided to make my nan and mum a little fairy doll. I went along the theme of kind of garden fairies, and then I also made one for myself. I made 2 for myself, one for our Christmas tree and one for me to just have. I do have a few other fairy dolls planned because they are a really cute make, and they're a really lovely thing to sit in front of the TV and stitch together. They are mostly made on the sewing machine, but there are a few details that you can hand sew, and it's actually really nice to pull everything together and have a little bit of time to do some hand sewing. So I will pop in a picture so you can see, but I went for different hair colours for them, and I didn't use skin tone cotton for the skin of the fairies because I actually didn't have any. So I went for pink and blue instead. It was a cotton that I had, and I was trying to use up some of the things that I had. They don't use very much fabric at all, and so they are a really lovely one to use up any fabric scraps and things like that, and especially if you're looking for a project that is just something a bit different than garment sewing. So those are all the things that I made for other people for Christmas and in December, and I do have a list of things I still want to make for other people in the coming year. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Goodbye!